Now that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is out in theaters, a lot of fans around the world are very intrigued about what could have been based on the reshoots and the rewrites of this movie that took place during the months of August, September, and October by Disney, LUCASFILM, J.J. Abrams, and even Kathleen Kennedy. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie, at the end of the day, was a foundation to create new Star Wars lore. Obviously, this movie was done by J.J. Abrams as a way to really propel fans to a different mythology of Star Wars. And we see a lot of examples of this within the official visual dictionary of The Rise of Skywalker. You do learn a lot more about the Jedi, the Sith, the ancient Sith and Jedi. I mean, there's a lot of material in there that was originally going to be a part of Episode 9 in the actual movie itself. Now, obviously, throughout all the reshoots, a lot of scenes were deleted from this movie. Even the editor, Mary Ann Brandon, talked about this a couple of days ago, that many of the scenes that could have actually made it to the finalized version of the movie would have actually made the film feel a little too crowded. And honestly, when I saw the movie in its final version, it already felt very crowded, based on how convoluted it was in certain parts, or how fast-paced it was at certain points in time. It's almost like they were trying to rush their way through this movie. So I want to go over one of the particular deleted scenes that involves both Palpatine and Kylo Ren, as well as a connection to Darth Vader. Now, what's really exciting about all of this is that it's explained that many changes and adjustments were made during the reshoots and rewrites of the film during the months of August, September, and October, when Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams decided to make major changes to the plot structure, mainly within the second and third acts of the movie. It's explained that one of the scenes that would have paralleled the dark ray sequence involved the character of Kylo Ren traveling to the world of Exegol, where he would be looking for Palpatine inside of the Sith Sanctuary that is the home of thousands of Sith loyalists, where they all look up to Palpatine. It's explained that one of the deleted scenes involved a moment in which Kylo Ren travels to Exegol to find Palpatine and locate his destination, where they eventually meet, where Palpatine begins to tell Kylo Ren about his grandfather Darth Vader and how he could rule as the new Emperor, where Sidious would originally give him a detailed lesson of Vader's failure of saving his son Luke Skywalker and how he will not make the same mistake with leaving his granddaughter Rey alive. In this cut of the movie, eventually Kylo Ren would see visions and flashes of visions before his own eyes, including a vision of Kylo Ren's face with a Darth Vader helmet closing in on his head, where it would be a sign that Kylo is now falling to the dark side further. Now, the shot was originally done over at Pinewood Studios over in the UK, and that in the shot of Kylo Ren, portrayed by Adam Driver with the Vader helmet becoming a part of his face, was said to be a shot over at Cardington on the set of Palpatine's cloning lab. Now, this was going to be a horrific scene for Kylo Ren that would eventually frighten him, and that the scene was like it came out of a horror film. Now, the thing about the very beginning of The Rise of Skywalker, which I'm sure that a lot of you guys actually will agree with me on this, is that when we look at the very beginning of this movie, where Kylo Ren meets Palpatine in the final version of the movie, is that it really does feel like a horror film. It does. You know, the way that they do everything with the lightning and the lighting of the film, and how you hear Palpatine talking in the background. There's even moments in time where Palpatine kind of sounds like that Pennywise clown from It, where he says, like, "at last," stuff around those lines of how deep his voice really is. But everything related to that in that sense of how there was originally going to be a segment where Palpatine would offer a vision to Kylo Ren, these flashes of visions, if you will, of basically Kylo Ren having a Darth Vader helmet hovering right over his head and becoming a part of him, does indeed parallel the flashes of visions that Rey sees of Empress Palpatine. I don't know if you guys caught it, but there are little flashes of visions during her training on, I believe the jungle world is called Ajan Kloss, if I'm not mistaken. And on that jungle world, she does indeed see Empress Palpatine. You do see how Rey's got the white eyes, just like Sidious, you know, the dead white eyes, almost like she's a deadite. Very interesting, and how they were going to have a parallel of that for Kylo Ren in the beginning of the movie, where he too would also witness flashes of visions of, you know, a potential future version of himself, or some kind of symbolism of exactly how he's turning to the dark side further under Palpatine's manipulation. The thing that I like so much about the New Empire is how Palpatine offers the New Empire to Kylo Ren as a way to manipulate him, and in the final version of the movie, Kylo Ren even admits to Rey that he's not falling for it, that he has other plans for Sidious, and that he wants to take Sidious down, which kind of really emulates the scene between Vader and Luke, and how Vader says that we can destroy the Emperor if, we combine our forces as father and son. So, with that being said, guys, like I say, a lot of scenes were cut from this movie, a lot of minor scenes, a lot of major scenes as well. It's very unfortunate, and hopefully at least some of them do make it over to the Blu-ray version of the movie come this March of 2020. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below, and let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.